6, a helping hand with your land.
Hi, my name is Kevin Dotterer. I work for Messick Equipment. I'm a salesman here at the Abbottstown, Pennsylvania location. Today we're going to look at the New Holland 9 and 10 foot Discbines. The one behind me here is a model H7230. That is a 10 foot 4-inch cut. On this machine you have a couple of options that you can get, both with the style of hitch as well as the style of rollers, conditioning rollers that is. So we'll start by up here in the front with the hitch. This model has what we call a drawbar swivel hitch. You can get this, you can get a 2-point swivel hitch, or you can get the standard hitch with just to drop the pin in like the H7230 has over here. This has a standard hitch on it. On the drawbar swivel hitch, there are several advantages to this. Starting with, you'll notice that the only pivoting is done within the gearboxes. The PTO shaft, the driveline, is always going straight. Down the road, that will definitely save on driveline damage as far as universal joints and other damage that could occur from constantly running at an angle. So these drivelines are always going straight. All the pivoting is within these two gearboxes. The other nice thing about this feature with the drawbar swivel or the 2-point swivel is that you can make sharper turns, and you can also mow while you're making turns because your driveline is always straight. It does take a few extra minutes to hook up this to the tractor. This is the plate that goes on the tractor. This is the hitch pin. This slides over the drawbar of the tractor. The pin goes down through the drawbar hole, and then you tighten these 4 bolts and these 2 set screws on the tractor hitch. It takes a few minutes to put that on. Once you do, you back up and just latch onto this front plate right here. So once you have that all hooked up, I'll go back along the side here and show a few more of the features of this machine. With the drawbar swivel hitch, it comes with a different drive line than your standard hitch. It has these bars here along the side, so if you did make a too sharp of a turn, your wheel would hit this and not damage the hitch or the tongue. There are some safety features as far as towing on the road. There is a valve up here that you can shut off, that if you're going to tow this machine on the road, that way it'll keep it from any chance of it swinging out. So it's an on-off valve right here in front. Also on the rear of the machine, there are some safety latches that when you raise the machine up, these safety latches will keep from the machine from dropping. There's a latch on each cylinder in the back. So when you're transporting it, you have these up in the transport position. This is also a good safety feature. If and when you ever need to get underneath the machine, you should always have these latches in place as a safety latch before you get underneath of the machine. On this Discbine, there are 3 choices of conditioners. You have the choice of rubber intermeshing rolls, steel rolls, or flails. Flails are good for grass hay. The other type of rolls, rubber and steel rolls, are good for any type of hay. This particular machine has the rubber intermeshing rolls. So when the hay comes off of the discs, comes through the rolls are adjustable to how much crimping you want to put on the hay. There are shields all around the machine where the cutter bar is to keep from throwing debris out to the operator. You'll notice on the front is a big long shield that we can raise up and latch in place. That exposes our cutter bar. Now the cutter bar is very unique to New Holland. Years ago when New Holland had the first Discbines, they had a common reservoir cutter bar that all the oil flowed through the entire cutter bar. The downside to that is if you ever hit something major and did some damage, it would break a tooth off, or maybe a bearing would go bad. It would float through the entire cutter bar and could do damage to the entire machine. Actually could even ruin the entire cutter bar. New Holland has designed their own individual module system so that every one of these cutter heads has its own oil reservoir. We call them modules. So within these modules, each of them has their own check plug and fill plug back here. and they all have their own drain plug underneath and a cutout underneath the shoe. So every one of these is self-contained. If you ever were to hit something solid, you would not damage any of the rest of the cutter bar. It would be confined to this one module. And on the newer machines now, they even have what they call a shear hub. Underneath these 4 bolts is a hub with notches in it. If you hit something, it typically would shear that hub off. So you can pull this off, put a new hub on, put it back together without doing any major damage. In between each one of these oil reservoirs is a hollow case with nothing but a shaft going between each one of them, connecting each one of these modules together. So that way, anything ever damage would occur would be confined just to that one area. So that's a little bit of information about the New Holland H7230 Discbine. For more information, please contact us at 1-800-222-3373 or on the web at www.messiks.com. Thank you.